This is one of the 910 C-130 aircraft, capable of airlifting 92 people, 45,000 pounds of cargo, 74 patients on gurneys, or 64 paratroopers.
The C-130, I like to tell people, is like a flying pickup truck. And our mission is as varied as what you can do in a pickup truck. We carry cargo, people, pallets of cargo that can be dropped out of the airplane. Whatever can be brought on the back of the airplane, we can move it wherever it has to go.
Lieutenant Colonel Mark Gables tells us how the C-130 delivers its cargo.
We can drop heavy equipment on basically rectangular pallets, metal pallets that roll out of the back of the airplane, and then they fall under a parachute. When we get over the spot on the ground where we decide we want to drop the cargo, the navigator says, "This is our spot, this is our computed air release point," and we hit a green button, and you see that red flag right there? A parachute sits in there, and that parachute drops out of the airplane, opens up, and then you can imagine what happens. It yanks the cargo right out of the back of the plane.
As for how they deliver their human cargo,
We have two ways we can deliver paratroopers from the air. One of them is on a static line where they actually hook up a wire to the inside of the airplane. They jump out of the plane all encumbered with all the things that they carry. If a paratrooper wants to jump out of the airplane, we open up the doors, he hooks up his static line, and we'd like to make the joke that the Army guys aren't smart enough to pull their own chutes, so all they have to do is fall out of the plane and the chute will open up on its own.
and he also explains the dozens and dozens of dials in the cockpit.
Engine instruments are in the middle. There's 4 engines, so it's redundant. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
All right, so engine number 1, that's the torque or the power that each engine is generating. That's the RPM, how fast it's turning. That's how hot the fire inside the engine is burning. This is the landing gear. This is kind of our gas pedal right here. And you can actually go in reverse to make the plane go backwards, which is the unique thing about this airplane. And this is kind of the ignition switch. So when you put your key in the ignition's on or off.
The 910th is also home to the only full-time fixed-wing aerial spray mission in the Department of Defense. So what do they do?
Our primary purpose or existence is to protect troops anywhere in the world from diseases that are transmitted by insects. These are primarily mosquitoes and diseases such as malaria and dengue. For mosquito control, we would like to come in, we spray a very small amount of pesticide. These are some materials that have been developed recently, and they're very effective. We spray about half an ounce per acre, and we'd like to see reductions around 95 to 100% of the mosquitoes in the area in which we spray.
Lieutenant Colonel Mark Breidenbaugh is the 910's chief entomologist and says the aerial spray department is involved in ongoing training missions so members are ready when the call comes.
Roughly 2 a month, and these are involved with primarily mosquito control, but we also do we practice for our mission with the Coast Guard, which is responding to an oil spill disaster and applying dispersants to oil slicks, and then we also do some weed control for bombing ranges. The mission is involved with a lot of different pieces. We have maintainers that can work on the system that we're using. We have, of course, the air crew that are flying the missions to the specifications that are needed to make an accurate and effective application. So it's a really big team that puts this all together.
With such an important mission and versatile plane, the 910th looks to be part of the community for years to come. With the Regional Chamber Report, I'm Kim Gonda.